From the Mercy One studio, Making It Personal with Bishop William Joensen on Iowa Catholic Radio and iowacatholicradio.com.
Welcome to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen. This is Stan Ash's seminarian for the diocese, filling in for Kelly Misher-Collins this month. Today we'll be talking about our Catholic schools with Donna Bishop, the diocesan superintendent, and Mary Jo Keever, principal of St. Pius X in Urbandale. As you might guess, this upcoming school year is going to be a bit different than normal, so Donna and Mary Jo are here to discuss the Catholic schools' reopening plan, how we can come back to education and move forward in a way that maintains both safety and the educational excellence you've come to expect from Catholic schools. But before we get to that...
Even though they have a very detailed return-to-learn program, there's no script for this as we ride the wave of all this as well. So it was great last week to be at St. John's in Norwalk, and Father Dan Kirby, always the consummate host there, and being with our young priests to celebrate Mass and just kind of talk about how this has impacted their priesthood and how they're doing, and build up the brothers in that way. Then also I had the chance to be at the installation of Archbishop Mitchell Rosansky, coming from Springfield, Mass, to become the I won't say he's the primate of Region 9, but almost, I think. We think of that historic church in St. Louis. And so to gather there and witness that outpouring of love for a new shepherd that was present. So the Region 9 bishops gathering for that particular event. We're looking at the Catholic Charities annual bishops golf outing next Monday, the 31st, at Echo Valley Country Club. I get a little anxious and twitchy there because
are you a big golfer, Bishop?
In my youth, my best golf was when I was a transitional deacon with the late Monsignor McLean in Marion.
There you go.
It's been downhill from there, and so I actually gave it up because I just thought there's no correlation between effort and results. And so that's why cycling is much more attractive to me. But one of the results and fruits we hope that we would realize from that event is to continue to support Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Des Moines. And we're conscious of the derecho and the drought and what an impact that has had, kind of a double punch in the stomach for our farmers.
Plus COVID and all that, too.
COVID, yeah. I mean, that goes without saying. I'm sorry, it's almost like it's always there in the backdrop.
Yeah.
But, the challenges and the temptations for those who are, experiencing depression, fears that might lead them to despair. So Catholic Charities and their great teletherapy opportunities, counselors and others who can reach people, particularly in the rural areas who might not otherwise have access. So encouraging that support for Catholic Charities and encouraging people, we will be communicating that through our website and other means, that these are people who are standing ready to support you in that particular way. Of course, about a month from now, we've got the great Christ Our Life Conference.
Oh, yes. It's on Friday and Saturday, September 26th and 27th in Wells Fargo Arena, as always. The speakers are going to be Donald Culloway, Sister Miriam James, Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers, Mirana Soldo, Magnus McFarlane Barrow, there's a lot of guests, Steve Agrisano, and Iowa Catholic Radio's John Leonetti, as always. John's a great
Don't
MC
leave John out. His feelings are hurt so easily.
He's a little snowflake, but so the tickets are available on ChristOurLifeIowa.com. So
okay, and that live streaming option, very important this year.
Yeah, they got two ticket types.
Yeah, so live streaming, encouraging people to consider that, but also in presence, and obviously the protections that we'll be doing and the protocols that are there. So today, the Feast of St. Augustine, the great doctor of the Church, who's quite life story, the 28th.
A great author.
Yeah. So
great
have you already delved into Augustine and your opportunities?
Oh, well, modestly, So, the confessions are really good and all that.
Oh, late have I loved you, oh beauty ever ancient,
Amen,
ever
yeah.
new. Yeah,
I love that book because it's sort of it's a book that's written as a prayer. It's not so much biography as sort of his writing down of his prayer to Christ. So it's very relational in that way.
Yeah, it's almost like you just can't. It bursts out of him as he's reflecting on something, and obviously he had a marvelous education, which he draws from.
Yeah.
But then the latter books kind of get pretty heavy lifting philosophically.
Oh yeah,
so we don't always put that on young people right away. But I've been privileged in the past in my January term course to be at Ostia outside of Rome, the ancient seaport, and to be there and to read that passage where Monica, his mother, and Augustine are reflecting on ultimate things, and
they have the communal,
the kind of window, and give no heed to where I will be buried. And Augustine's getting a little sentimental and kind of there, but that treasured moment where already the window of eternity is opening up. Monica, whom it says at one point, when they're asking, people who aren't baptized or anything, are they going to hell or that? And Monica bursts through and says, but they are not without God. They're not without God. And I think that shapes our attitudes.
Amen. We'll be right back with our guests. You're listening to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Spirit Catholic Radio Network.
Is it time for a new roof? Then it could be time for you to get to know Bell Construction. Bell Construction is a roofing company entering its 30th year of business. They specialize in residential re-roofs, light commercial jobs, and have the experience to meet all of your roofing needs with personal service. With Bell Construction, the owner will come to your home or place of business in person to inspect and ensure the quality of work that you deserve. They pride themselves in working with you on a personal basis and making sure you are satisfied. Bell Construction, 515-963-4494.
Thank you, Big Red Q Quick Print, for underwriting the sports report. Family owned and operated since 1980, Big Red Q Quick Print is a full-service print shop ready to help you with all your printing needs with speed and accuracy. Forms, manuals, brochures, letterhead, envelopes, business cards, custom invitations, design, and bindery. Big Red Q Quick Print, located across from Merle Hay Mall. Online at bigredq-desmoines.com. Big Red Q Quick Print. We make printing easy.
Welcome back to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen. I'd like to welcome two very special guests joining us today, true servants of the church, Donna Bishop, Superintendent of Schools for the Diocese, and Mary Jo Kever, Principal of St. Pius X School in Urbandale, here to talk with us about our Catholic schools reopening. Welcome.
Good morning to you both. Thank you.
Good morning.
It's a very intense time for you. Students are actually scheduled to show up for class. What day? What day is the first day they're going to be present in the room?
Monday morning.
Our schools are varying. Yeah, we have some. We had Perry, St. Pat's and Perry actually started yesterday. Was their first day, and then we have some starting on the 24th and others on the 28th.
Wow, tremendous. So this is going to happen. It is happening in that way.
It is happening.
Yeah, good. So our listeners may know you a little bit, but on Making It Personal, we want to hear just a little bit about your background. Donna, I know you've been with the diocese now for 14 months and came to us from Points West. Could you just share a little bit about that path?
Yes. Prior to coming to Des Moines, I was working with federal education funding across the United States for all non-public schools. And so Catholic schools were the vast majority of the groups that we worked with. And then before that, I was Assistant Superintendent of Schools for the Archdiocese of Omaha and Executive Director for the 5 consortium schools in Omaha. So
many of our Spirit Catholic Radio people, our folks, our friends would know you then. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Yes. Coming from the Diocese of Sioux City, where I graduated from Galen Catholic and then was a teacher as well with Galen Catholic before moving into city government and then on to administration.
Okay, so a woman of the heartland who's both been functioning in the public realm and also for the church in that way, and a kind of rainmaker, if you will, at one point too. So, Mary Jo, you're at St. Pius X, which is a huge, flourishing school. I mean, that's just the campus and everything else. That's just a big footprint there.
Wonderful community here, a great parish and great parish school. Absolutely. I myself am a native of Des Moines, graduate of Dowling Catholic High School, sent 2 daughters through Catholic schools here in the Diocese of Des Moines, and now a 5-year-old grandson starting in kindergarten.
Oh, congratulations.
So,
yeah.
Thank you. So, we are generations of Catholic school family here in the Diocese of Des Moines.
Yeah, and I would intuit that you were a teacher before becoming an administrator?
Correct, yep. I started my career at Holy Trinity here in Des Moines. Actually attended grade school at Sacred Heart, went back to work there for a bit, and now here at St. Pius. And so I just can't speak highly enough of all of our Catholic schools in the diocese. Every single one of them has great things to offer all of our families.
And your diplomacy and flexibility in working with different pastors over the years.
Right.
And the ever affable Father Fleming as well. But,
absolutely.
Good. So this summer, I mean, it has been all hands on deck all the time almost. I mean, very little break for teachers or for all of you in the planning. Talk about some of the major challenges that you faced.
Well, I would speak a little bit about, some of what the administrators have been doing, and it probably even started prior to summer, way back in March, when we saw some of this coming and schools were closed down for the first time, is when the diocesan administrators started to meet at least on a weekly basis and maybe smaller committees more often than that, planning for what we found ourselves in March, April, and May, and then also all through the summer, meeting weekly to come up with a a plan for all of our diocesan schools that would offer some consistency for families and, how to protect the health and safety of our students and continue to offer the great education. And so I really appreciated the efforts of all the administrators to make all of this come to fruition. Now we find ourselves at the beginning of the year and hopefully put these plans in place and have a great year.
Mm-hmm. And so swiftly you made the transition, and I think very effectively. We might think of maybe our other school communities, non-parochial, but I think you really were ahead of the curve in so many ways. Was there a moment where you kind of said, now what just happened? We just did this for 3 months. What did we learn? And now, we can make adjustments accordingly.
I think so, yes. I think, all of us were, once we got our feet under us, probably beginning in mid-April, we started that self-reflective process and made changes along the way as we needed to. And then when summer came and we had just a little bit of time to breathe, collectively the administrators said, okay, what worked in various locations, what worked for different communities, and what do we need going forward. So it was very cyclical, always evaluating, always revising as we made the plans moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And that was not just obviously an internal conversation, but Donna, talk about a moving target, as the various state and federal proposals and guidelines are coming forth. That still isn't set in stone, is it? You just think you have something, and then, whoops, something comes out from the state.
Yes, we're continuing to get revised guidance. And it was definitely, as Mary Jo stated, a collaborative effort. We learned how to be on Zoom for many hours at a time every week. And I'm so proud of the fact of, the administrators working together and really wanting it to look at it as a diocesan plan so that we had consistency across the diocese. And their efforts, they've been going nonstop. The administrators as well as the faculty have been going nonstop since March 17th when we got the first notice of the schools being closed down. So we're ready to go with whatever plan the Department of Education, the governor, or the public health provides to us saying flip the switch. We have all three learning methods ready to go, whether it's going to be face-to-face, whether it's 100% distance learning or the hybrid model.
Okay. And so all these things are available to you, and I think the ability to make adjustments at very short notice in that way. And yet the major hope is to be on site, to have everyone physically present to each other. Do you sense that desire? And, of course, our teachers, they're not doing this for the big bucks. We want to support them. But there's also a commitment that, recognizes this is very uncertain, and there's no absolute guarantees that we can protect, but so many marvelous measures that are in place. So can you talk about some of those things that you're really attending to, measures to keep people safe?
Yes, we definitely spend a lot of time in regards to mitigation strategies, working with a core group of medical team from our community that stepped in and assisted us along the way. And we did open up at the end of July when the governor made the new proclamation that the parents had the decision on what they wanted for their children, what they felt was best for their family needs. And so that did open up the opportunity for that 100% distance learning opportunity. We were looking at going, and as we are today, 5 days face-to-face, and with the mitigation strategies that we've put in place, with those masks when they enter the building, when they exit the building, anytime that they're in a hallway or in a crossing time period. Once they come into that classroom, it's varying across all of our schools as to what that's going to look like. Some have face shields that they're planning on putting on the students. Some have shields on their desks. Some are able to do enough social distancing within the classroom that's not necessary, but we all have agreed that anytime there's small group or one-on-one activity, those face mask coverings will go back on. And our sanitation process, again, we worked with one of the hospitals assisted us in guidance in regards to proper sanitation. We've really done everything in guidance as moving forward to make sure that at the forefront of our minds all along on everything that we have put in place has been the health and safety of our students and our faculty and staff.
Very intensive, and I'm sure the hours that are just kind of attending to all those corollary concerns and meeting that, and then the actual ability to communicate and witness and draw forth the sense of wonder in our students, the sense that they have of awe, and to stir those restless hearts and to awaken them to whatever the subject may be and the capacities that they have, the great potential and gift. Are there some families that are still preferring the remote program, and what would you say to any parents who might be hesitant or really kind of wondering, still discerning, what's going to be their option?
Yeah, we're looking at about 6% across the diocese as a whole of families that have chosen to go with that distance learning option. And we encourage them. We want everyone to feel safe and feel very positive about moving forward with their Catholic education. And so we're offering whatever is best for them. We are offering that face-to-face, which the vast majority are going to take advantage of, and that 5 days a week. It's going to look a little different in, some of our, in Dowling Catholic, they're going to do a trial basis. So the first week will be 100% face-to-face. They're going to come back the second week with a hybrid model just to trial it out. And then they're going to come back and make a decision on the third week on what route they're going to go based on what it looks like for numbers in regards to COVID positivity in the area.
Oh, very prudent. Yeah, that's a good plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Mary Jo, we think, the diverse backgrounds and means that families have, the different ways in which they can participate. How, in accord with the mission of the schools, can we empower every young person? Are there ways in which the technology and other features are there that we bring everyone into the fold in that way?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is one of the areas where the distance learning options and even all of the things we're doing in face-to-face learning have helped us to kind of evaluate and look at what it means to be a part of the community and how do we bring those children in and those families in and encourage that participation, encourage that faith formation, and while building that resilience, flexibility, and responding to the situation as it is. I think it's given all of us the opportunity to really prioritize community, family, conversation, communication. I think those things are kind of the heart and soul of school community, and so those things remain the same, despite what's happening, outside in the world, whether we have, sneeze guards up or not. We are still a community. We are still based in our faith and our care for each other, and I think it gives us the opportunity to bring those things to the forefront.
This is a question for either one of you, but Mary Jo, starting with you, I guess, we can get kind of in a hunker-down bunker mentality, even, kind of defending ourselves against people that cross our paths. God forbid someone sneezes or something like that, and, then we all kind of look at them with eyes askance and things like that. But, our children, I mean, there's a right to joy. There's a right to celebration. I mean, is that going to be possible? I mean, can we kind of slip beyond our fears and anxieties in this?
Oh, absolutely. This is what we've had conversations about this with our staff this week. And, in light of all of the uncertainties and in light of, as you said previously, Bishop, there are no 100% guarantees. But we do want to instill that joy. We want to make everyone feel an important part of the community. And we are here for each other. And I think some of that trust in the community care and concern helps mitigate some of that isolation or, that fear. We want to do everything we can to keep children safe and keep adults, our staff, safe, of course. But at some point we rely on our trust and faith that we are here for each other and to take care of each other in a joyful way, right? It's being smart and also participating in school and all of those things that make it a great place for kids.
So, I mean, liturgies, obviously, still part of the plan, Mass and opportunities like that, co-curriculars, so some of those things.
Absolutely. We've got a plan, and I know it varies between facilities depending on their schedule and things like that, but we have a plan here where we have divided the student body up into two. We'll have 2 Masses a week. We'll distance in the church. We're actually joining the normal parish daily Mass, which I think, again, is another great way to build community, to make that school an even more visible part of the broader parish. So we'll be dividing that up so students are absolutely still attending Mass and attending that daily parish Mass. So.
Beautiful.
So I was wondering, how does the enrollment look like this year, especially, with all the anxiety around this stuff?
We are actually, as of last week, with our numbers that for registration, we are up one student from enrollment numbers of last year. So it's varying across the diocese. I mean, we have great increased numbers at St. Luke's, for instance, one of our schools, in Yankee. They're up 60 students this year. So it all is kind of a reflection of the comfort level and the desire for the parents on what decision that they want to go with. Some of them are obviously coming from public schools with their chance of only having school 2 days a week. Parents want the students in school 5 days a week, so they've chosen to come and take advantage of our opportunities that we have available. So again, varying across, and we know it continues to fluctuate until our beds numbers are required in by October 1st. So that is going to continue to change, and we've given our parents an opportunity to make a decision by trimester if they want to be face-to-face or if they want to go with that 100% distance learning opportunity. So we'll see some fluctuation throughout the year.
We're seeing that same increase here at St. Pius. We are up by about 20 students and continue to take calls. And I think one of the great things that I've seen happening is that our parish families are taking a second look too. And so that's always good when we have our parish families coming over for tours and interested
just have to pause here for a break, Mary Jo, but thank you. Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. This is Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen.
Is it time for a new roof? Then it could be time for you to get to know Bell Construction. Bell Construction is a roofing company entering its 30th year of business. They specialize in residential re-roofs, light commercial jobs, and have the experience to meet all of your roofing needs with personal service. With Bell Construction, the owner will come to your home or place of business in person to inspect and ensure the quality of work that you deserve. They pride themselves in working with you on a personal basis and making sure you are satisfied. Bell Construction, 515-963-4494.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Welcome back to Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen. We're here with Donna Bishop and Mary Jo Kever, our school administrators.
Yeah, so we're not keeping you after for detention here or anything like that. This is just because some of the good things you're sharing. But, I mean, I sense the mission of the school, and I bet, the messages you get from parents following and others on both sides, those who are alarmed and those who are like, be not afraid, and so we're not throwing caution to the winds in any way, but really that blend of faith and reason, which is ingredient to who we are as a Catholic Church, and bringing the both to life in this way, in that marvelous way. Would there be any, if things do become more severe or we have influenza and everything else, you're prepared to make that rapid transition?
Yes, we are. And that information will be given to us as to what transition we need to be made by the Department of Education and our public health. They're going to be watching 14-day trends in regards to COVID numbers, and will be instructing us to what we need to do. If at any point we need to move to 100% distance learning, that guidance is given to us. That's not a decision that we will be making.
Okay. All right. So that'll be pretty cut and dry on that. So, again, appreciate all that you're doing, all the countless hours. I think educators and administrators have a special gene that allows them to go on for Zoom meetings. They're hours at a time. Even the bishops try and shut it down after an hour or so. So, the Zoomnesia kind of comes in after a certain point. So thank you for all you've done. I look forward. I don't know that I have a Mass on the calendar yet at St. Pius X, but I look forward to coming out and celebrating with you and just experiencing that whole environment. So God bless you.
We would enjoy that. Thank you.
God bless you and keep you safe.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Bishop.
All right.
Thank you, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. So good. We're still thinking about some of the different experiences that people are having, and the derecho is obviously something that maybe it hasn't caused as much physical destruction in Points West, but obviously the trees and the houses and other property damage, thank God, the loss of life was modest as well. But some other kind of global things that the phenomena we discovered in terms of what's happened, things with the Blessed Mother or other things.
Oh, yeah. So down in Mexico, they recently recovered this 10-ton metal sculpture of Our Lady of Guadalupe that after a hurricane, similar weather anomalies here, common theme for us in this segment, they discovered it under, I think it was in Monterrey in Mexico?
Definitely, yeah. It's a city of 1.5 million or so.
Oh, I'm just showing my ignorance
there
here
you go.
of geography. Yeah. I apologize.
There's Monterey, California, but Monterey, the original Monterey, yes. Okay, yeah. So, all right, well, and so 10-ton Blessed Mother?
It's huge.
Mary, you put on weight. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, it's like you see on the back of a semi.
I mean, we think of the COVID-19, but this Mary, she's don't mess with her.
Oh yeah.
Way. All right,
well, that's true.
Well, Stan, it seems like these weeks together and your opportunity to be our moderator and host and helping our communications team with Anne-Marie Cox, Kelly Mesher-Collins, excuse me. She'll forgive me on that. But any observations for us or things that you'll take away as you begin to prepare to head back north to the seminary?
Oh, well, it's been a pleasure to help out down here, especially the producers deserve a round of applause on this show because they put up with all of our slip-ups here. So
so shout out to Jimmy Olsen and Deacon Tony Valdez.
Yeah, Deacon Tony. Yeah.
So and they do a great job, keep us in good humor. But I've appreciated this, and you take the initiative on things, and so I think that's you're not waiting to say, okay, what do I do next? In this way, but you're looking and seeing, and obviously very insightful. Obviously, you do well in your studies, but may your prayer life continue to flourish, and may God give you the peace that frees you to discern what God has in store. Whether it's affirming the call of the priesthood or whatever. But God wants our happiness, and we want you to experience that even now. So
thank you very much, Bishop. I just want to ask, if you're listening right now on Iowa Catholic Radio or Spirit Catholic Radio Network, just send up a quick prayer for me and for all the seminarians for your diocese as we go back to school in these uncertain times. So
thank you. And I was so glad that, you only called me Bishop Pates once. So all
right.
Yeah, so.
Thanks for listening. This is Making It Personal with Bishop Joensen on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Spirit Catholic Radio Network.
You can hear Making It Personal with Bishop William Joensen every week on Iowa Catholic Radio and iowacatholicradio.com.